Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome back to Archer's Garage and Whatnot. And today we're back in the garage, and it feels good. It's been a while since we've been in the garage, so it's good to be back in. It's got beautiful weather. It's nice out, so that's good. And today we're working on my daily driver, which is a 2011 Ford Focus. I've noticed recently that if I go over some bumps in the road at highway speed, it's got a little squirrely in the rear end. And last week I was rotating the tires, and I noticed that the left rear shock absorber wasn't doing what it should do. It was very loose in the rebound area, and then the right side you actually see the oil coming out of the shock absorber. So they are bad. They're no good, and hopefully this will get me down the road safer. And it's a very easy job, but I know you guys want to see stuff like this, so we'll put it out there. And today I've got a tripod. My wife bought me a tripod so I can actually put the camera out there and film this thing and not have to hold it with my hand. And so it's easier to film it, easier for you guys to watch it. And I hope you guys appreciate everything. So let me get started. And we're doing this with basic hand tools as always, which is the point of this channel. No sense paying big money for big tools unless you absolutely have to. And no sense going to the big shops and paying outrageous prices, which they will gladly charge you. Unless, of course, you have to. So here we go. All right, first things first. Got the car in the garage, jacked up and positioned on jack stands. Safety first. And like I said in a couple videos ago, if you've never seen one of these jacks give way, they come down extremely fast and you're not getting out from under this car. You know what I mean? So safety first, put your jack stands there. It takes a couple of seconds extra, and it's just the safety of the thing. So here's what we're looking at. I've already got the tires off, and here's the right side. If you see the oil coming out, that's a bad shock absorber, excuse me. Anyway, if they're that bad, they're bad. And I've got right at 200,000 miles on this car, so it's due. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that right now. So let's get started. So first things first, we removed the carpeted area here that covers the wheel well, because it also covers this here. This is the 13 millimeter that is at the top of the shock absorber. I always want to call them shock. It's a shock absorber. And the shaft for the shock absorber here. So you need to remove the carpet from the inside of the panel, inside of the trunk, which it just pulls out. It's no big deal. So we got that out, and it's a 13 millimeter nut on that shock absorber nut or stud. And you come in here, and it really helps out if you've got a ratcheting type wrench. Here I've got gear wrench. I don't really recommend gear wrench because they're not very good, but it's what I've got here, so that's what I'm going to use today. If you're looking for a better gear style wrench, I highly recommend Blackhawk. It's the cheaper version of Mac Tools, but they are very good. That's what I use in a professional setting, and I've never ever had a problem with Blackhawk. Gear wrench, sometimes I have a problem with the teeth stripping out of them, and although they are warranted, you know, you still have to go to the store and get them warranted out. So if it just doesn't break, that's just that much better. All right, so you see what I'm doing. I've got the vice grips holding the top of the shock absorber, and then I'm loosening the nut with the 13 millimeter. And I can already feel the teeth in the thing slipping. So this wrench isn't much good already. You know what I just said? See, it just stripped. So gear wrench is expensive and they're not very good. Not my favorite tool. Here you go. And it's as simple as that there, kiddos. There you go. The nut is off. All right, so now we move to the bottom side of the car. And that, well, you got to do both sides, one on either side, but that is as easy as it gets. That's it. So let's go down to the bottom side and you'll see that. All right, here we are on the underside of the car, and we're getting to this bolt, which is on the bottom side of the shock absorber. And what I've got, 3/8 ratchet, an extension because I don't want to get in there and bust my knuckles if I don't have to, and a 15mm socket. Now you don't have to have a swivel socket, but I've got one here and that's just what I grabbed, so that's how I'm going to do it. I'm very positive that you've got plenty of room to get a straight socket in here, but it just happens to be what I grabbed first, so we'll just do it that way. And there you go. It's rather tight, so you have to muscle a little bit, but not too horrible. I'm sure anybody can do it. You might have to get a little bit more leverage if you don't have as much strength, but it's not something that's impossible to do. There you go. And there we are. As simple as that. I gotta fish the thing out of here. Yeah, see how easy, it's easy out. How easy that thing, I can't even talk today, guys, sorry. How easy it jounces and rebounds. It shouldn't be like that, but you know, this thing's got nearly 200,000 miles on it, and I can't complain at all. I'm putting, you know, $40 worth of shock absorbers on it at 200,000 miles. Who can complain, right? All right. So here's what we're working with, guys. I've got the original shock absorber here, and here's the new unit. Going with, it's a Monroe Gasmatic. It's not top of the line, it's nothing sporty, but I've always had good luck with Monroe, so I'm not going to poo-poo them. I'm going to go ahead and use their stuff. And I'm going to try, this was on the original, I'm going to try to put that on the new one to see if I can keep any moisture off of it. If I can't fit it, I can't fit it, whatever. And then once you've got these on here, you need to put your washer, and then your grommet, your rubber isolator, and it's got two positions. So you have your big end and your little end, and the little end actually fits into the body of the car. So where this guy goes through the car, this goes in there to, I guess, kind of center it. It's not really the best idea, but I guess it kind of works. And then the other ones go on the top of the strut tower in the trunk. And of course there's a nut. So that's what we've got. I'm going to slide this sucker in there and try to get it going. Alright, so back under the car, got the shock absorber, got my isolator on. Now, your shock absorber will come with this little strap on there, and you want to leave that on until it's in place, because if you cut this off, it's going to be fully extended. And with this thing being brand new, you may not be able to muscle it in. You might be able to, but if you don't have quite the strength, it's going to make it much harder. So you put this in with the strap intact, you put your bottom bolt on, then you cut it, and then you fish this into the hole in the upper strut mount. So it's a little bit of a dance, but it's not impossible. Can't see. Swing around here, guys. Oh, I lost my hardware. It's right here by my shoulder. Okay, and I also test fitted my bolt through the shock absorber bottom mounting area before I stuck it in place, because you don't want to stick it in there and have it not fit, and then you have to wrestle it back out. Alright, so he started, and if you see, now it's not up in the top hole anymore, because it's not fully extended, because the strap is still on it. So I'm going to get my side cutters, And now that that's in there, I will cut that, and it'll work its way up into the hole. So you want to kind of line it up the best you can, and then cut the strap, and then it's going to rather quickly expand, but I mean, it's not going to shoot like a rocket, but it's going to be enough where you want to be ready to move it. So there we go. Simple as that. Then you cut off the excess pieces. You don't want them flopping around in there. Just it may make a little noise while you're driving and just be annoying to you. Or you just turn the radio up. You don't have to worry about anything. It fixes all the sounds. No more squeaks and rattles when you turn the radio up. There we go. There's that. And then you tighten your bottom nut, or bottom bolt, excuse me. And then we can get to the top nut. There you go. Good and tight. Tighten to spec or tighten to heck. However you want to do it. It's good enough for me. Good enough for government work, right? Alright. So here we are on the inside. Now I've got the isolator. So you got the small side and the big side. I don't know if you can see it very well. The lighting isn't great inside the car. Small side goes here because there's a kind of a spot inside here that's a little bit bigger than the shaft of the shock absorber. So it kind of centers it up. Now here's where I'm going to deviate from the installation planes. Here's the washer that comes with the new shock absorber. Here's the factory one. I think the factory one looks really nice. So I'm going to put it back in place. Well, I thought I was. It won't go over the shaft of the new shock absorber. So there we go. It's funny how things work. Alright, so that's that. Let's see if it's the same size as the old one. Nope, it's a little bit bigger. So let me take my nut off and go get the right size wrench. Here we go. So I got the right size wrench for it now. I got a 14 millimeter. It's probably a 9/16, but 14 is essentially the same. And got my trusty old Blackhawk that I was talking about earlier. I love my Blackhawk ratcheting wrenches. I literally have had these things since 2001. I was a mechanic at a construction company. So these things have really been put through the paces, and I have never once had to warranty one out. So they've definitely proven themselves to me in the field. So I used them there. Then I went back to the dealership world. I used them there. And like I said, I've never once had to warranty one. So there you go. And voila, one side's done. Now, all right, so the driver's side is done. Now I move on to the passenger side, which is exactly the same. So I'm not even going to show you that. Even if you only needed one, it's always good practice to do both. When you're doing something like a shock absorber, do them in a pair, side to side, not front to back, side to side. They all wear evenly pretty much. They've got the same mileage, and as cheap as these things are, go ahead and get a new one. And let me show you what I bought here. This is what we're putting on there. Gasmatic Monroes. And like I said, man, they are not super high performance. You know, they're not Bilsteins and anything like that, but I've always had good luck with Monroe. They've always done me right. I'm going to do them right, and I'm going to put them on my car. And they're cheap. You know, for 40 bucks, I did both sides of the car, and they're going to last as long as I have the car. So there we go, guys. Now we got to put, well, of course I'm going to do the right side. Put tires on, go for a test drive, make sure everything's good. And that's about it. That's as easy as it gets. So once again, with a little initiative and common hand tools, you can beat the big guys. You don't have to take it to the big Ford dealership or the Pep Boys or anybody. These places that charge you $60, $70 an hour. You don't have to do all that. You can do it right here in your garage with hand tools that you can buy at, Lowe's or your local hardware store. These simple little tools. And just do it yourself. And it costs you $40. And then it's done right because you did it yourself. You don't have to think about, oh, well, did the guy tighten this, or did he sell me something else that I didn't need to? And that happens a lot. They have upsell contests, and trust me, I know. I worked in a dealership for 11 years. They have contests to see how much they can upsell the customer on their vehicle outside of what they originally came in for. Bad times. So anyhow, don't go to the big guys unless you absolutely have to. Here you go. Do it yourself. Knock it out, and have a good day with it. Beautiful weather. Why not be outside working on your car? It's amazing. All right, guys. Thanks for joining me today. And I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope you learned a lot from it. Probably not. It's a simple job. I'm probably just talking to myself here. But if you liked the video, hit the subscribe button. Like the video. Hit the like button. And that'll help me get some exposure out there. I just want to do common stuff for common people. So here we go. All right, everybody. See you next time. Bye. Have a great day.